If you don't have this book, you should consider buying it. Let me tell you why. If you don't have this book, I urge you to buy it. It's by Dian Thomas, and it's called Roughing It Easy. And it was revised. This is the 1994 published copy. It is a treasure trove of prepping and camping advice. I first heard of this through Uncle Al on his YouTube channel, Die Bullfrog 79. And I had to buy the book, and boy, am I glad I did. It's chock full of suggestions how to use everyday household items and make it into something that you could use in a survival situation or for camping outdoors. Well, you know, I talked about all those do-it-yourself hacks. Well, she has a lot of them for what happens if there's a blackout and you need to cook your food. For instance, cooking a dinner for two in your fireplace, making an improvised barbecue grill with a garbage can lid and some bricks, making a coffee tin can stove, works great. I've done that with my grandson. Making a buddy burner to keep that stove. Again, done it with my grandson. He thought it was just fantastic. Or how about to make a pie tin oven? I don't have any of those pie tins, but if you think of it, you put one on top of the other like this, and then you'd use these office clips and just put one on each side, clip them together, and you have a baking pan that you can use on the coals of your fire or for your grill. Or how about making a cardboard box reflector oven? Or, I've seen truckers doing this, cooking on the manifold of your car. Or how about making a chimney starter for your charcoal by using a number 10 can. Here's another everyday item, a hanger. She uses this and a couple spools and makes kebabs over an open fire. And what about popping popcorn? Well, she suggests using an old flour sifter. Makes a great popcorn popper over a fire. And you can pick up one very inexpensively at a Goodwill type store. Have your kids make kick the can ice cream. They'd have a lot of fun doing it. Even how to boil water in a paper cup. I didn't know that until I read this book. Need refrigeration when you get that blackout? Well, in my case, I have a Creek, and she shows how to use a Creek refrigerator. And she also has other survival tips, like how to make a tent from a poncho or a tarp. Various ways to make a fire to keep warm. And she even had a couple of survival tips that I never thought of. You know, what happens if your car conks out and it's in the middle of winter? What can you do to stay warm? Well, one of the things she suggests is making a fire outside your car using your spare tire. Because even when that fire burns out, it makes a lot of black smoke that may help people find you. Or if you're really desperate, take your knife and cut up your seats and get all that foam packing out and stuff it into your clothes and your coat, and it will help you keep warm longer. And she shared some neat hygiene ideas, how to make an outdoor shower, and then also to make the shower room using an inverted umbrella, a couple of shower curtains, and some rope. Another thing I like about this book is all the little hints in it. Let me give you a little idea. Well, how about if you have a cast iron pan, soaping on the outside before you put it on your fire, because that will mean it won't blacken as much and be much easier to clean up. Or if you want to preserve your cheese longer, soak your cheesecloth in some vinegar and then wrap it up. And that will decrease the mold and your cheese will last longer. And did you know by storing your egg with the large side up, your egg will actually stay fresher longer? And I always do that anyway because it's easier to take out that way. And there's plenty of information for foil frying over coals. How to can barbecue, and even eggs and bacon cooking in a paper bag. How to cook a whole chicken in a can. Muffin cooking in a reflector oven. And can cooking. I mean, there are loads and loads of recipes in here. And it tells you what is the best method of cooking for these recipes. So they have cheesy snackaroos, cowboy potatoes, even pineapple upside down cake, sloppy Joe biscuit bake, pistol rock chicken, deep pan pizza, and Dutch oven roast beef. A lot of recipes. Chapter 2 goes over trip planning, but it could just as easily be used for bug out all the things mentioned. And chapter 14 is preparing for an emergency. It's easy when you plan ahead. And that really is true. She covers how to respond to the most likely disasters to happen, how to stay warm, having an evacuation plan, an emergency vehicle kit, and how to correctly turn off your gas and water. Now, if you're interested, I have a link below that you can click on to buy this book, but you might also be able to find it in a used bookstore. I really highly recommend it to be part of your prepping or camping library. I should mention there's 2 books. There's the one I'm talking about, and then there's Roughing It Easy 2. This is fine if you camp a lot and want to have a lot of recipes that you can use, but I think for survival type, prepping type, this is your better book. The Roughing It Easy, published in 1994. So here's a quote by the author. I have traveled for years throughout the country and many parts of the world sharing the ideas and techniques from this book with people who enjoy camping in the great outdoors. Many times I've been told the resources in this book would be great if one ever had an emergency. This is certainly true. When the power goes out, these ideas make excellent ways to provide you as much as possible with the comforts of home. I believe that the best way to get ready for an emergency is to first have fun using these techniques for recreation, whether using them in your backyard or out in the woods. Adapt and use the ideas to enjoy preparing for whatever tomorrow brings. You will have peace of mind knowing that you are ready to meet the unexpected. Exactly. Buy this book and practice it with your family in a fun way. You can camp in your backyard. Let the kids make kick the can ice cream. Bake some muffins in a cardboard oven, or making meatloaf on a stick. Have fun, all the while teaching self-reliant skills that are in this book. So as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you give it a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And always share the knowledge. Thank you.